When he moved in, he was just a jobbing comic. I charged him 40 quid a week rent. By the end of it, he was on telly the whole time. I knew what he was earning because it was the same as me. Still 40 quid a week rent.
We chat to Mr. David Baddiel.
Hello, Chris. Actually, can I just tell you something, which is I only found out about 4 minutes ago that you could see us.
Yeah.
And I was naked until very recently.
Oh.
I mean, we're all naked until recently, aren't we, at any point in time? But it was really recent.
Close to the bone.
Are you, well, that's not a bad phrase, Pippa. Are you, even though it's not a bone, are you somebody that likes to just be naked?
In bed, I am naked.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, unless I've gone to bed for other reasons, not to sleep. But when I'm in bed asleep, I can't really be doing with even boxer shorts because...
No.
Can I say I get a bit tangled up, and
Yes.
I find that makes it difficult to sleep. And so, as I got up quite late because I thought I'll wander down to do Chris's show because he won't see me. Maybe I'll put a dressing gown on, maybe I won't. Hey, and then I got a message from my publisher saying it's on video.
So there's certain questions I've never asked you.
That can't be true. You've interviewed me a lot.
I know, and there's still those. I
Okay.
could sit with you for hours and talk to you about comedy and writing and songs and everything. Do you know how many copies of Three Lions in all its different guises have been sold?
I don't know the exact number, and obviously, as you know, I don't like blowing my own trumpet. I wouldn't put multi-million selling football song on the CD, which I believe you can still get, of Three Lions. I mean, that's part of the point, Chris, is that obviously it's still happening. Three Lions, like in 2018 or whatever, it was downloaded like millions and millions of times. Although one thing I would say about that is I think occasionally, like when it does really well, when England do well and the song suddenly rises up again and people love it, I always get a slightly cynical strand of men who start going on about royalties. And I want to say to them, do you know how much you get from Spotify? Because I believe someone worked it out. I saw a newspaper article which said that it had been downloaded at England Columbia. The Three Lions have been downloaded something like 16 million times.
Right.
Which works out between me and Frank and Ian Brody at something like 900 quid between us. So I can't retire on that, I'll be honest with you. But I don't know. I mean, I think I've got somewhere, not on this wall, a platinum disc
Wow.
on it. So I don't know how much that is. You might know because you're in the biz, but whatever that is.
I think it changed. I think it used to change. I think at one point it used to be this amount of copies, and then as record sales fell, it was that amount of copies. But that was in the days when it first came out. That's in the days when people bought singles. They actually went and bought physical singles. In fact, iTunes probably wasn't downloading. Probably wasn't even a thing then.
No, it came out in 1996.
Yeah.
It is, of course, the only song to go to number one 4 times by the same artists. That's like a thing that I have to say to make that record make sense,
right.
You know? Right? Because otherwise, like Live Aid has gone to number one 4 times, but it's always different people. It also holds the record, I think, for the steepest fall from number one. So when England went out of the World Cup, it was like number one in the morning, and the next day it was at number 94.
So you and Frank lived together, didn't you? Were you living together at this point?
Yes. What happened with Frank is that he didn't have anywhere to live when I first met him because he was living in Birmingham. He got divorced, had to move out of his house. Then he split up with his girlfriend who he was living with in London. He was virtually homeless. I'd done 2 gigs with him, liked him, said, okay, you can rent a room in my house. My brother's just moved out for a few weeks. He was still there 6 years later. And the key element of that is when he moved in, he was just a jobbing comic. I charged him 40 quid a week rent. By the end of it, he was on telly the whole time. I knew what he was earning because it was the same as me. Still 40 quid a week rent.
See?
Can you believe it?
So yes, I can, by the way. Yes, I can.
Radio. The Chris Moyles Show.